Is this time for the show, Guru?
It is time.
It's time for the show?
It is.
I can't believe it.
I know this.
Can't believe it's already
The
here.
week has flown by.
It has.
And we're back at Monday.
Back at Monday. And that is the signal that the Hey Techie Show is on the air.
We are taking over the radio.
That's right.
Do not attempt to adjust your radio.
It's not possible. And if you'd like to be on the show, you certainly can bump us off the airwaves and call in at 256-782.
50. There. No. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
5600.
I could hear you before.
No, I could not hear myself. 5600.
Yeah.
256-782. 5600.
That's it. That's it right there.
Yeah, it was the preamp was kind of a little.
Yeah, see, I don't have a preamp, so I'm a lot lower than you.
You're coming through loud and clear.
Yeah, I can see my register on there though.
Well, do I need to turn you up a little bit? How about that?
Probably.
There you go. We're even.
I don't think so. Well, anyway, welcome to the Hey Techie Show. If you want to know more about the Hey Techie Show, you're just curious, you're turning us on, you can go to heytechieshow.com and learn all about us, find all our podcast, previous shows, and all that good stuff. So, and of course, I know you'll be mighty blessed if you do. There's a local NASCAR story. Now, before we get into headlines, this is breaking. Dale Jr.'s mother, his mother, passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And that is a shame. Now, she was 65 and she was battling cancer.
Oh.
As I understand it. So
I hate that for the family.
Yeah.
It's awful.
So Brenda Jackson is her name. So anyway, pardon me. But we've got a lot to cover, and we do cover tech here, and there's a lot of things we're going to cover. There's Tesla news, there's SpaceX news, there's
Samsung news,
and there's
a lot of news.
There'll be plenty of Apple news, I'm sure.
Of course,
and
that's called the rumor segment.
Well, we'll fit,
among other things,
and we'll fit Google in there somewhere.
Of course.
And who knows? We've got all kind of great stories to discuss and topics to bring up, and we hope you might be encouraged to be part of the show. So, anyway, we do have some tech headlines, though. And for a company that has never built a chip, they claim they have designed the best in the world. That's what Tesla...
Oh, Apple?
No, it's not, believe it or not. That's what Tesla CEO Elon Musk said about a new self-driving chip. He continues his vigor by making it clear about his company's future endeavors for bringing to market a fully self-driving autonomous vehicle, which includes robot taxis as soon as 2020.
Next year.
He tells investors it's financially insane to buy anything other than a Tesla.
Of course. Trust us.
Right. While reminding them of his many successes. However, he also gave what he called a fair criticism of failing to meet some deadlines. The company's first quarter financials are expected on Wednesday. Now it just leaves Montana as the lone state without some kinda... That'd be that southern version of some kinda texting and driving law. Arizona, the 48th state to ban texting and driving, while becoming also the 18th to ban handheld phones used. Handheld phones used while behind the wheel of a moving vehicle. The bill signed by Governor Doug Ducey gives officers the authority to issue warnings immediately, but actually tickets are on ice until 2021. They say to give citizens ample time to adjust. Fines will range from $75 to $250. Now, some towns and counties already have restrictions on driving with a mobile phone. This new law allows for those locales to continue their enforcement.
All right. Yeah, 48 state, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Samsung's new Galaxy Fold device experiencing issues with the display. Multiple reviewers were provided early access to the device for review purposes. are reporting issues with the display. The Verge's Dieter Bohn said that his Galaxy Fold device broke after a random bulge appeared on the display. Soon after the display stopped working.
Yeah.
CNBC's Steve Kovac
Yeah, absolutely.
reported that his review unit, say that 5 times fast,
Okay.
was displaying a flickering, failing screen after 1 day of use. The nearly $2,000 device is currently accepting pre-orders and was originally expected to be available to customers on April 26th, this Friday. Recent reports state that Samsung will not release the Galaxy Fold until, quote, at least next month, end quote, due to these issues.
Yeah. I heard that Apple's CEO called them and said, here's what you do. You tell them they're holding it wrong.
That's it. According to a statement from SpaceX, an anomaly occurred during a test of the Crew Dragon spacecraft at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. The statement reads in part, quote, ensuring that our systems meet rigorous that's another one I can't say tonight, rigorous safety standards and detecting anomalies like this prior to flight are the main reasons why we test. Our teams are investigating, working closely with NASA partners, end quote. NASA Administrator Jim Bredenstein said in a statement, pardon me, I'm getting all choked up here, said in a statement, the issue occurred during a static fire test of the capsule Super Draco engine. At the time, it is unclear if this incident will affect the schedule of Crew Dragon. Video has leaked on the internet that shows what it appears to be a total loss of the vehicle and an explosion on the test stand. Crew Dragon was scheduled to have an in-flight abort test and the first crewed flight this summer. I'm getting choked up over here.
I'll tell you, over this pitiful thing that's happened to SpaceX. My goodness, you may never recover,
I know.
Guru.
And things like this happen. I'm just glad that the reports are no one was injured. This was a testing the engines on the capsule. And I've got several leaks. So I've got an Orlando Sentinel article. There's actual video of this thing report.
Right,
Look, it appears to have exploded. The video is kind of grainy. And then our good friends at Reddit, the SpaceX subreddit, they've got a little thread out here with some more information. And of course, like I said in the headline there's nothing official coming out of SpaceX. I mean, they released a statement and they used the term anomaly and what it occurred there, and that they're working with NASA. But there's Musk is usually not afraid to go to Twitter and say stuff, and he's been very quiet. Which, I mean, I'm not blaming anybody here, but I'm just saying, the official word has been slow to come out. So a lot of speculation, a lot of unofficial reports. We'll call it that.
Interesting.
Yeah, and this is what reads in part here on this article from Reddit. This thread.
Sure.
This thread from Reddit. If Bruce was here, he could tell me. He'd get me straight about Reddit. But anyway, on the 20th of April, at the Dragon test stand near Landing Zone 1, Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, SpaceX static and ground tested the Crew Dragon capsule. C-201 previously flown on the demo mission 1 ahead of its in-flight abort test previously scheduled later this year. During the morning, SpaceX successfully tested the spacecraft Draco maneuvering thrusters. Later the day, SpaceX was preparing for a static firing of the capsule Super Draco launch escape thrusters. At about T-minus 9 seconds, SpaceX experienced a serious anomaly which resulted in an explosive event and the total loss of the vehicle and the test equipment. Local reporters shortly reported an orange, red, brown colored smoke plume, presumably caused by released toxic hypergolic fuel, which is the propellant used for the Super Draco engines. According to official words, nobody was injured, and the released propellant was treated.
Wow.
So that's kind of the unofficial word about what happened. So don't know what this is going to do to their schedule. If it puts, there's been some speculation this may push off this whole crew thing to 2020, the year 2020, next year.
Huh. Well, I wouldn't want to be on it.
Oh, I know. They got to figure this out. So, I mean, and the thing about SpaceX, they have lots and lots of data. So they'll get to the bottom of it. Just got to give them time to work here. I'm just glad no one appears to have been injured. And I'm glad this didn't occur when they actually had the astronauts in the vehicle.
If you're watching the video, I am still in the dark. Hello.
Sorry about that.
Well, you know, it is what it is. You know, lights go out and they don't get replaced. What else can we do? You know, it's a cheap budget here, so.
You won't pull out the Hey Techies credit card
No,
for nothing.
no way.
But one thing we need to make sure we talk about right now. Today the show the day we're actually recording and airing this show, April 22nd. You know what day it is?
Unfortunately.
you know what I'm about to do. So today is Earth Day.
Yep.
And
I don't worship the earth, so go ahead.
I have to have an excuse to play this little sound.
Knock yourself out.
Because Michael does not like it.
Nope. No such thing.
Just think about your going green today.
No such thing.
Turn off a light, recycle something.
Nope.
Just bug Michael with the going green song.
Completely all made up. Sorry.
Anyway, I had to. You knew I was going to do that when
Oh,
I mentioned
hey,
it
that's
earlier.
fine.
I mentioned in the green room.
Just
that
follow the
today was
money. That's how you can figure it out. Hey, Techie Show. Be right back.
And more stuff.
Absolutely.
Maybe more going green too. You never know.
That's. I hope not. Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show. So glad to have everybody with us. Just me and the amazing guru here tonight.
I don't know about amazing or not. I'm stumbling over my words. I'm sitting here coughing, getting all choked up over SpaceX.
Oh, well, it's just because you need to play that song, a sad, sad story, or whatever it is.
Oh,
sad situation. That's
yeah.
it. That's our sad situation song.
It's right here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, sing it, Elton.
SpaceX. Well, I mean, and then we could just go backwards a story. And Samsung, sad situation for Samsung.
It is a sad situation for the unfortunate people who use Android devices. You know, have a superior device, have an Apple device.
Have you happened to see the review video?
I have not.
I've seen one of them. I don't know, it may not be the same one.
I've seen like pictures of like.
No, it's pretty. It is pretty neat. I mean,
I've seen video like B-roll of like demo and how it'll fold open. I mean, it's a pretty remarkable device, but I mean, if it breaks after a day of use, it's not that remarkable.
Oh. Well, now I saw a video, and in the video they talked about how the hinge was very crucial. Obviously,
I mean, that's anything that folds needs a hinge. But go ahead.
I know, but it's like not dust resistant and not liquid resistant either. They said dust and water would really mess it up. This hinge. And
yet they're releasing this product, or they
were
going to release it Friday.
Well, and another thing, you got to think about this. This is a new area.
Oh, I get it.
No, I know you do. I mean, there are going to be things like this, if it even gets pulled off at all.
But this product, what gets me is this product got all the way to the point that they're actually put in the hands of journalists to review it. And I mean, they were within a couple of days of releasing this to the public. They're already taking pre-orders for it.
Well, look,
I mean, I get when you're doing R&D, you're going to run into technical challenges and you're going to break stuff and have opportunities and things to work past. But this is basically these things have already been built and they're about ready to go. I mean, look what happened with the Note 7 a couple years ago with the batteries.
The media is known for breaking things. So I'm not so sure.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, they are. So I'm not, they're known for breaking things. So I'm not really sure.
This is not fake news.
Nah, we don't know that. We really don't know that. So anyway, what I was also going to tell you about that is they showed they closed it up and they demonstrated two iPhones stacked on top of each other.
Yeah,
was then about the same thickness of this thing closed.
I have saw that. I have seen that.
That's crazy.
No,
I mean,
but you can fold it out.
I get it. It's still gimmicky.
That is gimmicky. And it's $2,000 gimmicky. There's actually something more expensive than iPhone 10.
Yeah. Well, I got some other things too.
iPhone 10's half the price.
That's the list we need to get together. I just realized something we could do.
What's that?
We need to find things that are more expensive than the iPhone 10.
Well, there's a lot of things.
Similar size.
I'll tell you one thing.
No, we'd have to find
one thing that costs more than the iPhone 10 was this that I have pulled up here, the Mueller report.
Oh,
I know we're not going to talk about politics, so please don't change the channel.
Over 400 pages.
Yeah, but here this is an article from The Verge. The PDF Association thinks the Mueller report stinks.
Of course they do.
It's really kind of sad. So basically, they're the PDF Association.
I get it already. They
Published a long explanation of just why the Mueller report PDF file. This is what they released to the to Congress and to the public.
Okay. No, I saw. Okay.
And there's basically an article or a document called a Technical and Cultural Assessment of the Mueller Report PDF. The Verge is called an indictment of the Justice Department and a celebration of the venerable portable document format. It started with some basic facts. This is coming from that thing from the PDF Association about this report. It's 448 pages, is of, quote, acceptable quality, end quote. But it doesn't conform to archival standards. It was produced on April 17th on probably a typical Office network copier / printer, and it uses lossy compression, more appropriate to photographs than to text. Justice Department might have gotten a high-quality PDF from Mueller, printed it, and then rescanned it. Or Mueller might have delivered a paper report to the department, scanned and released. As the Post notes, rescanning makes absolutely sure there's no inappropriate text data released, limiting people to the words they actually can see in the black redacted box, which I completely get. If you were trying to redact something in Word and you actually PDF it from there, there's a chance it could get out. They have to be careful about the redactions.
Yes.
It's heavily redacted, of course. Let's see. Badly redacted searchable PDFs have occasionally revealed some embarrassing secrets. This has got some examples. Since this is the PDF Association, there's a detailed explanation about why the format is great and why no one would have even suggested a Word file or a set of TIFF images or a website or an XPS file. They keep on going here. Short answer is PDF is to preserve the original text in formatted document. They can include clear redaction and the supported media platforms. Duh.
What are they upset about? I'm still not getting understanding what is their beef?
Basically, I guess the quality of it. But if you look at the actual cultural and technical and cultural assessment of the Mueller report PDF, there's some key takeaways here. It says it's got a couple bullet points here. If the Mueller delivered a born digital PDF to Justice, that file was printed and scanned back into a set of low-quality images for release. A disservice to all future users of the document, and also a violation of Section 508 regulations, whatever that is. If Mueller delivered a paper document to the Department of Justice, which was subsequently scanned, DOJ's treatment of the document is more understandable, but still non-conforming with Section 508, whatever Section 508 is.
Everybody knows what that is.
Irrespective of the evidence and conclusions about the Trump campaign, the special counsel report showcases the essential qualities of static, self-contained, reliable, shareable PDF in a world that it increasingly runs on HTML. Lord.
They got nothing better to do.
And I guess because of how they scan it and the compression, it's probably harder to OCR. It's kind of what I take from that too, because obviously it's... They scan the printed documents, so
I got it.
And I get why they did that because of the redaction. Anyway, you can read through this thing. There is some bookmarks in the PDF. They included bookmarks for about 15 subsections of the document that are not reflected in the document's logical structure. Oh, these subsections don't match the document's table of contents. That's kind of embarrassing. It's probably like something like an Office copier probably automatically tried to figure something out. And they need to
I guess
maybe you need to go fix their printers.
Possible.
Maybe you need to go fix their printers. No,
I don't.
You don't want to go fix Department of Justice?
I don't. No.
Some of the technical assessment conclusion. It's interesting and deeply unfortunate. I'm reading from the report here that DOJ clearly used advanced redaction software, but nonetheless chose to deliver a paper-age, images-only PDF. In doing so, they dramatically increased the file size, probably by 8 to 10-fold, permanently and substantially reduced the visual text and image quality of a document of historical interest, permanently reduced text searchability, assuming they received a searchable PDF from Mueller, delivered a document that's inherently inaccessible to users who require assistive technologies in order to read, requiring substantial remediation efforts to recover any useful degree of accessibility, let alone full compliance with applicable regulations. Section 508, that's American Disabilities Act. I just remember now.
Oh, because it can't be read
Section
aloud?
508 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1970. It's about accessibility and about people
So it
with...
can't be read aloud by
Yeah, well,
readers.
well, yeah,
Is that
like-
what they're complaining?
Right.
You know,
accessibility standards.
Really, I don't know why they're complaining about this, because this stuff really, this whole report would be best used on a toilet paper roll. I'm serious. Now, it'd be tough.
Save the tree.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
I really don't, you know.
Well, you could. It is Earth Day.
Oh, gosh.
You get to go green. Just recycle that for another purpose, right?
Well, that's about what that thing's worth to me.
That's 2 times this show got to play that so far. We're only 30 minutes in.
I'm sure I'll unfortunately have to hear it another time.
You want to play another?
No.
You sure? Okay.
No.
I just thought that was
No.
it's kind of a different twist on the Mueller report, because all you've heard for like the last week is Mueller report this and Mueller report that. It's about what's in the Mueller report. No matter what side of the political aisle you're on, whether you agree, disagree, or whatever. Let's talk about the PDF. You know, let's take a step back from the content. This PDF. You know, this. Anyway, I just thought that was that was quite humorous.
It is. I agree.
Yeah.
As I said, they need to print it off and put it on toilet paper roll.
Probably somebody already has. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's Michael's opinion. Michael at HeyTechiesShow.com.
Yeah, send all complaints.
That's right. Speaking of reports, headline: Sprint and AT&T reach settlement over misleading 5G logo, but nothing will change. Chance Miller is the writer here, but the point is, they say that both companies agree that they have come to a amicably settled matter.
Get choked up again over this.
Yeah.
5G logo.
Basically, what some people are saying, they think that AT&T basically paid Sprint to shut up.
Oh, really?
Well, that's what they think. Sprint's complaint is that AT&T, by using the 5G network branding, but actually not having any better connection, was making the 5G brand itself was putting a black on it, sort of.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, AT&T defended itself by saying that 5G evolution is meant to simply let customers know when their device is in an area where speeds up to twice as fast as standard LTE are available.
Okay.
That was their claim.
Mm-hmm.
So originally the lawsuit was brought, of course, by Sprint, and they claimed that AT&T is blatantly misleading customers. Now, my problem, I have a couple of problems here, but one in particular, if you're going to go after AT&T, and I don't care what company it is, and you're going to accuse them of blatantly misleading consumers, that's your charge. What is it that AT&T is going to say to you that makes your aggravation on that just go away and you just settle? You know, I would have to agree that it's got to have some kind of monetary settlement. I mean, it's not going to be known to us because it didn't go to court, and they could settle it quietly.
Yeah, they
between the two.
The terms of it could be
totally,
off the record,
right,
confidential.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I gotta know. I mean, I don't have either of these companies, but it could possibly affect other things.
Well, it also goes back to if there's ever like a something you want to something you have the intellectual property rights to, you have to defend it.
Yes,
and if they felt like it was infringing on their rights, it was in their best interest to attempt to defend it. Even though they do settle, they can show we are defending our intellectual property.
Yeah, but
I mean, I'm just throwing out, and I'm not saying that applies in this case. I'm just saying
I got what you're saying.
if you own intellectual property,
But I mean,
it's to your advantage.
okay, so
to fight
let's
it.
add something to this.
Yeah,
A few weeks ago, Sprint had a full page ad in New York Times slamming AT&T
really.
about this. So my point is, what gives? Does AT&T come back and say, well, actually, we do have some stuff that we're not planning on releasing right now due to whatever obligation, but here it is, we're laying it out, and now that we're showing you can't say anything about it, but we do have proof that we do have this service and it is what we say it is, but we're not rolling that out. I mean, that's one theory.
Yes, very
That
plausible theory.
that would shut Sprint up.
Yeah, very plausible too.
Or like the other person said in this article, which is understandable, that some money changed hands.
It very well
But
may
now,
have. You just
it would have-
take this money and go be quiet.
that's fine, but we're talking Sprint here. I mean, I don't see that. I mean, they're the company.
So is it Sprint going after AT&T?
Yes,
Well, they want some money because it's big boy.
I get that, and I'm sure Sprint could use it, but that check would have to be big to quieten this down. I mean, maybe that was the whole point. But here again, we don't know. This is all speculation, not rumor. It's not rumor.
Right.
This actually happened. The speculation is to what the settlement is, and whether or not
Every day, companies take each other to court, and then a lot of them
sure.
settle before it actually gets to trial.
Sure.
And all those terms are not public information.
No. And for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I mean,
I still think it's possible that there could be some intellectual property that AT&T is just not ready to roll out.
yeah, and a lot of these companies, they'll go and get trademark and all that to names and things well ahead of
Right,
releasing
I know.
it.
Right, but now they're not the only. Sprint's not the only one that's complained about this. Others have been very curious about this.
Yeah.
5GE branding, and some of others have suggested that it's a gimmick. Like
Well,
it's a marketing gimmick.
It's not the first time.
No, it won't be the first time.
Or the last, probably.
No.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I thought it was fascinating. To me,
Little game, a little shell game.
Yeah, well,
potentially
that
coming in the
constantly goes
future
on,
for
but-
AT&T. But anyway,
Well, and the reason I was bringing this up partly, we haven't heard from Bruce in a while, not really, and I get the feeling from something he texted us that he did get a different phone.
yeah, I think you may be right.
And-
We'll save that for when he's back on the show.
But I have to say this: he left the show. Or rather, let me restate that. The last time he was here on the show, or could be here on the show, he left us with the impression that he was going to go with Big Blue. That was the
Yes.
impression I got.
Yeah, I can see
Which
that.
is kind of odd to me, given the kind of things like this he hates. But then he hates it about Verizon, too.
Oh, yeah.
Big Red. But he has other reasons I know.
Equal opportunity caller
Yes,
outer is what I call
yes,
that one.
Yes. I know there were other reasons why
Yeah.
he was very... So anyway, we'll see. I don't know. Hopefully Bruce can be back here soon, depending on what happens on the show.
You're going to have to fire me first.
No, what are you talking
I'm
about?
just saying. I'm being funny.
Okay.
I'm being funny.
Well, number one, none of us are hired.
I know.
None of us get paid.
You're going to cut my salary
right
in half.
from 0 to 0 to double zeros. No, I'm going to add a couple of zeros.
Oh, are you? Oh, thank you.
After the decimal.
Okay. Appreciate that.
0.000.
So, okay.
Get you in the. Let's say that'd be the hundreds of thousands. Let's say tens,
Hundreds of zeros.
No, thousands.
Thousands of zeros.
Yeah. Something like that. Well,
Interesting.
yes, I had something else here that was interesting, sort of related to that. Let's see here. That was Sprint. Let's see what else is in my list here. This is off the beaten path here, but apparently Nah, you know what? I'm going to save that.
Oh,
No, I'm going to save that. And the reason I'm going to save that, that might fit good in for our very last segment, which I'll tell you all about. Later in the end of the show, on Our Dose, we have a just sort of like a little thing where we do whatever we don't get in, we try to get in as quick as possible.
overclock stack.
Our overclock stack.
Not
and that
quite ready, go yet.
Yeah, that's right. And
Ready
that's
go
towards
soon.
the end of the show.
We hadn't done one of those in quite a while.
Well, but we have. We just probably called it out as
No,
that. We just haven't called it out as that. Yeah. One of our headlines. I told the headline. It was about the Arizona.
About the
They
texting
joined
and driving.
47 other states.
I'm just surprised that I thought all 50 states had a texting and driving law of some sort. Now, the holding the device while driving, that's kind of a newer thing.
Well, now
or
here's the
I hate to say fad, but
here's
it's
the
new passing law.
Not all states do. Now, here's the caveat that I didn't put in there. Missouri is considered one of those states, do not, but that's not totally accurate because they do have a law for drivers 21 and younger.
Okay.
So it isn't totally accurate that they don't have any law.
Okay.
So, however, for anyone 22 and older, they don't have a restriction on texting and driving, but they do for underage.
Well, I mean, I get it for the young people, but it should be for any age. That's not safe.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
which I know Alabama has recently passed legislation
yes,
to where you can't hold a device while driving, kind of similar to our neighbors to the east in Georgia have. I think that goes into effect here in Alabama this fall.
Yeah, that seems right.
August maybe, or maybe in October. I can't remember the exact date, but we got a couple months. What's your?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I just think my problem with the whole thing is where does it stop?
Well, here's the thing. And I'm not going to call anybody out, but there's too many times when I'm driving that people are holding the phone up to their ear, or they're holding it in front of them while they're driving.
That part,
but just they're on the phone, and I think it's taken away from them concentrating on the road.
I totally agree
because their mind is focused on something else.
Yeah, I get that part.
And I'm not sure if a speakerphone will even help in that case, or something where you're not holding the device. Now, I think it helps, but folks, just please be aware of what you're doing behind the wheel. If it's that important of a call, pull over at the next place and take your call there.
I think the texting part is the worst.
Absolutely.
Now, the talking on the phone, for some, there's no question. Some people get too animated in what they do.
Yes, it depends on the person.
Now,
different people handle it different ways.
I do talk via hands-free.
Yeah.
When someone calls me, I can answer it right from my steering wheel.
Yeah, and that's going to be legal under Alabama law.
Right, I know.
This year.
I know.
You just can't be holding the device.
It is now. But yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing. I do understand both sides of the argument. I think, and I've said this before, that you got to be real careful how you write these laws because you can go too far with any of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so, I don't know. I have a son who's driving, and one day I have a daughter who's driving. So I'm very sensitive to the fact of people texting and driving because I have skin in the game. I don't want my kids being hit by someone, and I don't want them hitting anyone by them not paying attention.
Right.
So, and I know many, many parents feel the same way, and it is a serious subject, and it's one that does need some addressing, and I'm glad somebody's. But to answer your question, Guru, some state, and I can't answer totally for Montana because I'm not sure I have this information, but in Arizona, some cities and locales, they already had laws against that.
It was like years ago here in Alabama, there was, a lot of municipalities that were passing no texting while driving laws locally.
Correct, right.
And then the state came in and just did one for the state. So it kind of makes the local one a moot point unless it's more restrictive.
I'll tell you this. I'm probably more apt to think it should come locally. I understand that could create problems at times because of it being differences from place to place. You'd have to be careful with that.
Yeah, that would be. It'd be hard to it get confusing to the driver. Well, I didn't know I was in your municipality and it was not allowed.
I understand that, and well, there's some common sense here too. I mean, I know that's hard,
right? Just because it's against the law doesn't mean. Just because it's not against the law, doesn't mean you should do it.
Correct, right?
So
I know people. I know we say that, and I understand that, but people are going to. And you know what? This law is not foolproof.
No.
Then the reason I'm saying that is just because it's a law doesn't mean people's going to abide by it. I'm not. I know many will, or rather, I hope many will.
Yeah.
That's my hope that they will. But so we'll see about Arizona. We'll see about Montana. I'll be curious if they decide later on to do something, since they're almost the only state other than Missouri that doesn't ban all of it.
Yeah.
So,
getting the last few holdouts here.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, I'm ready. Yeah, we can go to break. I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and go to break. We'll pick up our 43 seconds on the other side.
That's right.
That we left on the table.
Yeah, we don't leave anything out.
That's right. Hey, Techies Show. Be right back. Guru says it's back. We're here. We're back.
We can keep playing the song,
Yeah, it's good. I like it. What was that one, Guru?
It's called Good Life by One Republic.
Oh, One Republic. Yeah. Okay.
So your little Android phone spying on us over there.
Oh, well, it's listening just like the Amazon Alexa.
That's why I don't have one.
Yeah.
That's why I have Hey Siri turned off.
I don't have this article, but I know a lot of people have been talking about it. Apparently, the running story is that, if you haven't heard, is that there are people hired to physically listen to some of the recorded.
Oh, really?
Boy, yeah, that's a big story right now. I can't believe you haven't heard about it.
Well, I don't subscribe to that mess.
Yeah, I know.
Yep, that's all on you.
I don't have one.
Else.
I don't have any. I don't have Alexa.
Oh, well, you have that listening.
That's
just as bad. How that mess turned off on my phone.
Everything's listening.
Yes. Yeah. Put your phone away.
Google, I hope you're doing good. Just wanted to tell you that. I mean, if somebody's listening to my stuff, they are bored silly. I promise them they're not going to find anything. They really are. As my friend joked about, the reason that there are folks listening to end on the Amazon Echo, or rather the Amazon apps, the Amazon whatever, the Alexa, whatever.
Yeah.
He says, this is kind of funny, he says they're trying to find new plots for their shows for their primetime series. I said, yeah, that's okay. That's pretty good. Yeah. I like that. That's a possibility. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we'll take all your ideas and not give you any credit.
Sure. That's right. Let's see. Oh, I know what we wanted to talk about.
Okay.
I know what we want.
Well, I got something too, but you go ahead.
Well, we could probably do this. Guru and I had the opportunity the other day to ride in a Tesla. Speaking of that,
yeah, I know.
A friend of ours, Ted,
that wasn't a cover story. That was we talk about Elon Musk coming to see us. No, you totally blew it. No, go ahead.
Well,
that's okay.
Sorry, you know me and the reality. I live in reality. You're right. I did blow that.
Yeah, that's okay. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. Well, you know,
a friend of ours.
Yeah, a friend of ours. He drove up after work one day. We were getting off, and he was out in the parking lot. And he said, "You want to go for a ride?" And of course, we said, "Sure."
Yes, let's go.
Sure, let's go. So Guru sat in the front, and I sat in the back. Very comfortable.
Was it very comfortable in the back?
Very comfortable in the back.
Okay.
No problems. And actually, it was very roomy, surprisingly.
Okay.
I mean, it's not the longest luxury car I've seen, but it's
probably comparable in size to like a. Which one is that Lexus? Was it an IS?
It's bigger than that. I think it's a little bigger than that. But that's a good comparison.
So a smaller sedan, not like a mid-size, not a large size.
I would say it's to me it looks like the length of a Corolla, maybe a little longer.
So a mid-size, a compact sedan.
Yeah, maybe. But I think because of the not need of the engine.
Yes.
And other things like that, then you do get a little more legroom area.
It's the length of the vehicle,
Correct.
wheelbase, and all that stuff.
Right.
Okay.
And that's the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
Plenty of power.
Oh yes.
A lot of power. And,
Yeah,
and I knew
he
that going
he
in.
demoed that for us. Got off on a side street and just gunned it.
Yeah, it's like if you've ever ridden one of these rides that takes off real fast. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah,
One of these Six Flags rides that takes off.
But those
real
electric motors got all that torque.
Oh yeah,
so
I know, and
yeah.
I knew it was going to be like that because my wife's car has a lot of torque in her vehicle. It's a hybrid.
Oh, I say she had them all three too.
No, it's a hybrid. It's not the same deal because those motors that he had are on the wheels. That's where the engines are.
Right.
On a Tesla car. And I'm thinking, was it the front wheel? Which was his?
His is all wheel, I think.
No, it's not all wheel.
Oh,
No,
is it
his
not?
no, his
He didn't have the all wheel.
No, he does not have.
Maybe
the
it's front
all-wheel.
wheel.
It was either.
It's probably front wheel. Well, maybe rear wheel though.
It might have been rear wheel. I don't remember. I know you can get it either way, or you can get all wheel. The all wheel's
The all wheel is more expensive.
A lot more expensive.
If you'll hang tight, I'll try to find out.
But anyway, I'm pretty sure he had extended
he had the extended
battery or
Yes.
extended distance, whatever they label it. I should know this. And it came in the most amazing color, black. I thought
it's like the you get any color.
I thought one of the most interesting things about it, which
it is all wheel drive with two motors.
all-wheel drive with two okay.
And I think there's an option to do a 4-motor.
I guess that was it. All-wheel drive with two motors. Well, I wonder how
has two independent motors. Unlike traditional all-wheel drive systems, these two motors digitally control torque to the front and rear wheels for far better handling and traction control.
Okay, all right, okay. So I get it now. Okay, so it is all-wheel, but
it's two motors.
I get it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's got plenty of go. I mean, you can.
Yeah, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
It'll throw you back in the seat, no doubt about it. And he's got a great colors, black. If you're into that.
It's very sharp. I mean, the first thing I noticed is the wheels are just
and the top is almost all glass, all the way to the back. There's one bar that goes across your head space that's metal, like almost what a roll bar would be, but not exactly. But the rest is glass.
It's kind of like some of these newer vehicles have got like the panoramic.
Yes, I mean
moonroof.
literally that's what it looks like, all the way to the back.
Yeah.
Now that may not be for you, but it's very, very, very cool looking. Let's see what. And we did experience the touch panel. The Guru was up front.
That's one thing I know. One of the first things I noticed is a traditional vehicle. You know, you have your dash with your steering wheel, the controls on the steering wheel, and then you have like an instrument cluster with the different instruments. And a lot of cars now are going to a screen there instead where it's digital
Correct,
instruments.
right.
But you have that traditional instrument cluster, and you have something in the center that controls like your radio and your air conditioning and all that. That's kind of the traditional, what we all accustomed, no matter who makes the vehicle, whether it's Toyota, Lexus,
Correct.
Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Ford.
All those. Domestic, foreign.
It's my impression, I don't know if I stole this from somebody, this wording or not, but basically Tesla threw everything out the window.
Yes.
For it to be street legal, it has to have a steering wheel. You know, there's some controls on the steering wheel. There's like 2 buttons. They're like scroll, but you can push in on them to like, you know, select stuff and do stuff. And then there's 2 levers, one on the left side for like, you know, the blinker, and then on the right side, which actually, I think it does put it in park or reverse or forward.
It has to do with
Yeah, that on the steering wheel.
It's all on the steering wheel.
And then nothing else but this touch screen in the center.
Yes.
Think of it like the size of an iPad Pro, but turned portrait.
And actually might be a little bigger than
Maybe
that.
a little bit bigger, but think about a large size iPad.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. That's the right explanation of it, yes.
Yeah. I mean, basically, you know, they just threw everything out. So we don't care what cars look like. This is what we're going to do.
Right.
And they're doing what they have to be street legal. It has, you know, mirrors and all that fun stuff. But, I mean, everything is controlled through that touch screen.
Right. One of the fascinating things, now Guru got to drive it, and I had to go, but Guru got to drive it. And one of the fascinating things about it before I left is getting out of the vehicle. There is no frame at the top of the door.
Right.
The door has no literally the window is the top.
Yes.
And to get out of the vehicle, the window, and it freaked me. I thought it was rolling the window down. It comes down about an inch.
Yeah.
And that's how you get out of the door, because that window goes up inside a frame that's part of the car.
Right.
And it's got to come down to open.
Yeah, and then Ted,
and all that happens in milliseconds.
And after you left, Ted showed me there is a way to, like an emergency open, if you have like no power, there's a way to get out where it doesn't when you don't have any power. But the only time you should do that is in no power,
right.
An emergency situation. You got to get out.
Right.
But the traditional, you open the little lever, it drops an inch, and then you can get out.
It didn't spook me, but I was like, oh wow,
it's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
that's odd.
Yeah.
And as soon as you close the door,
it goes right back up. Yeah.
And back to the driving. So he took us for a ride.
Yes.
Very cool, very neat. And then he asked, "Do either of y'all want to drive?" And I'm like, "Yes, please." And of course, Michael had to go, so he couldn't experience the drive, unfortunately. But we got there in the parking lot, and you have driver profiles. So he set a profile. So he created a new profile for me. Then I could adjust like the mirrors and the steering wheel and the seat. You did it all from these controls on the steering wheel, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, you set up a profile for you, so everything's adjusted to your. The only thing that doesn't adjust with that automatically is the rear view mirror.
Yeah, yeah.
So you get everything set, and we got that all set. And it's like, okay, let's go. And she showed me what to do. Put it in reverse, and so I drove around a little bit. I was like, this is neat because it's super quiet. Of course, electric vehicle. I didn't gun it, but it was very enjoyable, very smooth ride. And then he's like, let's try the autopilot. So we got on the highway going north of town, and
oh, you didn't tell me this.
Oh, I thought I told you this.
No, we didn't talk about this.
So we got going, and we got away from town where there's no stop lights, no stop signs, red lights, or anything, and it's akin to setting the cruise control. He was doing stuff on the touch screen because I didn't know what to do, obviously, as I'm driving, but he got it kind of set up, and then he said, okay, like push on this little button on the steering wheel to set the speed.
Yeah.
Basically, you're setting the autopilot.
Yeah,
so I got up to whatever the speed limit was, and I set it. Okay, it's set. I'm in the right lane. Said, okay, now if you want to change lanes, just put on your left blinker. Put my left blinker on, it moved over. That was the coolest thing ever. Now, you have to keep your hand on the steering wheel because if you take your hands off, the car will know and it'll start complaining.
Yeah.
So you got to hold on to the steering wheel.
Yeah.
But and then I would do the right blinker, it'd move back in the right lane. But it's not just that. Like at one point, he was telling me it'll know if there's vehicles around.
Correct, right.
So I did left again. There was a car coming up beside me, passing us in the left lane.
Right.
It waited till that car was in front of me before it moved over.
Yeah.
Now you can easily take it out of autopilot. Like if it was trying to get over and you didn't want it to.
Right. Unlike the Delta Max, but yeah.
Yeah, but you can. It don't take much of a tug the other way, and it basically turns autopilot off. So I'm done. You've got the car.
Huh.
Just very neat.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay a premium price for things. They start at like $32,000.
Yeah, but they go on up from there.
But once
quickly.
But once you pay for like the autopilot, which is extra, you pay for the long range battery, which is extra. You can spend as much as you want on this thing. 50,000 or more.
Oh yeah.
I just pulled this up. Like if you want the long range, that puts it at 41,000. Some of the colors are even extra price. Like if you want the red, it's like $2,000 more. But let's say you went with let's just max it all out. So you wanted a red, you wanted the premium wheels. That's another $1,500.
Well, we're going to have to head to break so we can catch our dose.
Oh yeah, well we are behind.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That's okay. We're going to catch our dose here coming up.
I just got carried away about this Tesla.
We may cover some more.
Sorry for covering up NPR.
Oh, no, we're good. Hey, Techies Show. Be right back. Welcome into our
dose
for the Hey Techies Show on this fine April, and we hope you're having a great evening. If you would like to be in our dose of the Hey Techies Show, that'd be 256-782-5600. And we will certainly try to put you on the show if at all possible. But we were last talking when we left abruptly in hour 1 about our Tesla drive.
I know.
And Guru was trying to look up.
If you max a Model 3 out, it's like $60-something thousand. If you were to max out the most expensive option, money's no object.
It's like maxing out an Apple computer, right?
Not hardly. Take several of those. Man, it's a very nice vehicle, though. I will say, very nice. Long range battery. It's not quite there in terms of a tank of gas. One thing I did ask Ted about, this is while we were driving, is like, how do you charge it? I mean, obviously it comes with a charger, but like, is it 110 volt AC? He said the home charger that comes with it, it can do 110 volt, but it'll take a long time because
Correct, right.
It's only 110 volts to pull power from.
Sure.
But you can run 220 as well. And that's what they recommend. But I think it was a 50 amp circuit. You'd have to basically get a licensed electrician to run a 50 amp
circuit. It makes sense.
That's a lot of juice.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But it's designed to be charged overnight with it in that configuration. And then it comes with an adapter. There's apparently there's a standard type of electric car plug. Of course, yes. Tesla uses something different.
So of course,
but it comes with
Apple uses something different.
It comes with an adapter to adapt.
Well, that's so.
So
nice.
if you're
a dongle, if you will.
Yes. So if you're anywhere that has like an electric vehicle charging station, you could plug in, or if you had the supercharger, you just sat there. But some places, employers provide electric charging stations.
Are we going to find out one day that dongle secretly reduces the charging? I mean, increases the charging time because you're not at a Tesla supercharging.
Probably so.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, there's no proof of that. I'm just joking.
But it's a very nice vehicle. That price though. I mean,
oh no. Well, I mean it's like buying a luxury car, but not for me.
I mean, several $1,000s if you want autopilot. If you want the long range battery, it's a couple $1,000 more. Certain colors are $1,500 more.
Well, of course.
But this is a luxury car. You got to remember, this is a luxury car. It's not designed to be, it's not competing with Toyota. It's not competing with Nissan or Chevy or Ford. It's just competing with Lexus and Acura and Mercedes and all those.
Yeah.
If you went over to Birmingham, the Tesla dealer would be over there with all the luxury cars.
There is no Tesla dealer.
Oh no, there's not. I'm saying, but if there was, it'd be over there with like the Lexus dealer down on 459 across the street, the Mercedes dealer, and all that good stuff. Right. So
you'd have to get it.
But I will say, it's a very, very unique vehicle. They threw everything out the window in terms of design. I think they did a good job. It looks slick. In terms of the look of it,
sure,
the less is more look.
Right.
So I was impressed. Very, first impressions, I was impressed. And I've been wanting to test drive one, but I didn't want to actually show up at the Tesla store just to, I want to drive this, because I can't afford it. Not in the market.
Well, now for a little bit of tech headlines. Now it just leaves Montana as the lone state without some kind of texting and driving law. Arizona, the 48th state to ban texting and driving, while also becoming the 18th state to ban handheld phone use while behind the wheel of a moving vehicle. The bill signed by Governor Doug Ducey gives officers the authority to issue warnings immediately, but actually tickets are on ice until 2021, as to give citizens ample time to adjust. Fines will range from $75 to $250. Some towns and counties have already have restrictions on driving with a mobile phone. This new law allows for those locales to continue their enforcement. For a company that has never built a chip, they claim they have designed the best in the world. That's what
Apple.
No.
Okay.
That's what Tesla's CEO Elon Musk said about a new self-driving chip. He continues his vigor by making it clear that his company's in future endeavors for bringing to market a fully self-driving autonomous vehicle, which also includes robot taxis as soon as 2020. He tells investors it's financially insane to build anything other than a Tesla. Buy anything other than a Tesla. While reminding them of his many successes, he also gave in what he called a fair criticism of failing to meet some deadlines. The company's first quarter financials are expected on Wednesday.
According to a statement from SpaceX, an anomaly occurred during a test of the Crew Dragon spacecraft at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. The statement reads in part, quote, ensuring that our systems meet rigorous safety standards and detecting anomalies like this prior to the flight are the main reasons why we test. Our teams are investigating and working closely with our NASA partners. NASA Administrator Jim Burdenstein said in a statement the issue occurred during a static fire test of the capsule's Super Draco engine. At this time, it is unclear if the incident will affect the schedule of Crew Dragon. Video has leaked on the internet that shows what appears to be a total loss of the vehicle and an explosion on the test stand. Crew Dragon was scheduled to have an in-flight abort test and the first crewed flight this summer. And lastly here, Samsung's new Galaxy Fold device experienced issues with its display. Multiple reviewers provided early access to the device are reporting issues with the display. The Verge's Dieter Bohn said that his Galaxy Fold device broke after a random bulge appeared on the display. Soon after the display stopped working. CNBC's Steve Kovac reported his review unit is displaying a flickering failing screen after 1 day of use. The nearly $2,000 device is currently accepting pre-orders and was originally scheduled to be available to customers on April the 26th. Recent reports state that Samsung will not release the Galaxy Fold until, quote, at least next month, end quote, due to these issues.
Interesting.
And that is your headlines, or
That's
those
right.
are your headlines.
That's right. For April. Now,
So now we've had Antenna Gate, we've had Battery Gate, multiple Battery Gates, and now we have Fold Gate.
We have Fold Gate. Yes. Well, they're I got it.
What you got?
They're folding it wrong. That's it. Apple is holding it wrong. Now you're folding it wrong. That's it.
Don't fold it that way.
Don't fold it that way.
If you fold it that way, you'll break the screen.
That's right. You'll break the screen. That's what's going on. That's folding it wrong.
You're folding it wrong.
I did see let's see. Now get this headline. Get this headline, Guru.
All right.
Google cuts Pixel 3 prices in half for Project Fi birthday. Now, let me ask you a question. How is that a birthday for Google to cut their prices in half?
What, for the device? You're saving money.
No. No, they're charging people I mean, they're not you might be saving people money, but look, to me, this is not good headlines for Google.
Well, I'm confused.
Google cuts Pixel 3 prices in half for Project Fi birthday. It's their latest phone. They're going to have another one, but Pixel 3, they're cutting it in half? When has an Apple device been cut in half?
Never.
When they're old. They might drop $150, and that's pushing it.
Yeah.
$200 maybe, but not likely.
Well, they're trying to increase adoption of their platform. I mean, if you're on the fence about Fi and they take the Pixel 3 and drop the price in half, that may
By the way, it's
sway
today
you over.
only.
Well, better hurry up and get one, Michael. And Bruce just switched off at the wrong time.
Okay, I get that, and you're right. I see what you're saying. Maybe I was looking at the headline a little wrong, but this still bothers me in a way for Google. I just don't. I mean, this is their latest phone. Half, I can understand
But
some.
it's a 1 day, like a fire sale, like a Black Friday.
I think that's
yes.
the problem.
Well, it's to drive attention. I mean, we're talking about it on the show.
Success.
We're talking about it on the show. I mean,
I'm just curious how long this Pixel thing's going to go. A
lot better than Foldgate.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're expecting the Pixel 4 coming up, or another version of the Pixel.
Well, they got a bunch of them in the warehouse. Like, let's just drop the price in half, see what happens.
I don't doubt that. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that there are some in the warehouse, wherever.
I got a couple of people that unfortunately use inferior Samsung devices, and maybe they should take advantage.
Hey, look now.
Well, that's not you.
Well, I know, but I know some people that do.
I know. I'm sorry.
Inferior.
I
But see,
apologize.
you know how these Apple people are. Everything's inferior. I mean, come on.
No, if I was to have an Android device, which I won't, I would have a pure Google experience. I would never go near a Samsung device.
Yeah, well, I hear you there.
I want the pure Google experience.
For
But
big-
I'm not doing that. I'm gonna stick with Apple.
No, awful shocking.
No one creating headlines here. or
No, it
anything.
was no right. It was never a question for me whether you were sticking with Apple. That's never crossed my mind. I mean, literally, they would have to do something unbelievable to get you. I mean, it would be
I'm just not a fan of Android.
That's fine. It would be uncharacteristic. Well, when we return, we're going to move on and probably try to do some rumors coming up soon. Maybe early in the second segment, maybe later. Hey, Techies Show. Be right back. We're back.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, we're back. Just the Guru and I tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bruce could not make it tonight.
But anyway, we're having a great time and hope you are. We're here talking of our weekly ritual about tech.
This is our creative outlet.
Yes. I can give you a heads up, though. On May 6th, I know we will not be here. We will all be out of pocket for May 6th, which is unfortunate in a way. We'll have to do a follow-up the following week. The May 6th week would be our anniversary week.
Oh, man.
That's okay. 5 years.
Are you serious?
4 years.
Oh.
2015. Yeah, 2015. 4 years.
4 years.
Sorry.
I was about to say
jumped the
5
gun.
years. Man, it's been that long.
No, 4 years.
4 years. Wow.
So May 7th.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. But the following week we'll plan on having something. So that's the hope. But anyway.
We're going to have a big...
Nah, it won't be
have
nothing.
like a big... We have
It
like
won't be
cake.
4 years.
We'll have like
No.
cake and ice cream and...
Well, Matt might get Bruce here.
that would be something there. He's been missing
Why are
for
y'all having
several
cake
weeks.
ice cream?
Because you're back.
Yeah, we're celebrating you being back. You never know.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Now time for the Apple portion of the show. No, I'm just kidding. Rumors, but most time it's Apple, unfortunately, unless Michael's got something.
No, I don't think I do.
When I go looking for rumors, that's all I find.
I know.
Occasionally I'll find a Microsoft one, like we talked about one last week about wireless earbuds that they're rumored to be developing.
Right.
This week we've got a lot of Apple stuff, unfortunately, for some of you. For those of you like me, it's fortunate. So here we go. So our favorite analyst, Ming Chi Kuo, is saying that 2020 iPhones will support 5G networks, with chipmaker Qualcomm likely to be one of 2 5G modem suppliers. Interestingly, Kuo also expects Samsung to be the other supplier in select markets. This is from Mac Rumors. Apple frequently aims to diversify its supply chain in an effort to reduce risk and have improved bargaining power.
Huh.
But Kuo believes that the 5G will be a boon for the iPhone sales and Apple's supply chain in 2020. He forecasts total iPhone shipments of 195 to 200 million units in 2020, including 70 to 75 million 5G models released in the second half of the year.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then some more iPhone 11 and 11 Max. Some molds that have been images of molds released that show a triple camera layout.
Of course, that has been the rumor.
But it looks different than some of the other images we saw before. It's kind of it's not the ones we saw before. It was like, the 3 camera lenses and then a flash. These are not. It's just got 3.
Correct. Like, yes.
3 cutouts only.
Cutouts, right.
But not 4.
Well, there's a little bitty thing above that one if you look close.
Yeah, that may be the flash. You're right. There's 3 more predominant for the lenses of the camera. But yeah,
there's a little tiny little circle there.
But it looks similar on the front with the bezel-less.
Right.
Very thin bezel.
Right.
It's not really bezel-less, but very thin. No home button. For people like me, unfortunately. I guess
No,
I'll keep
I'll
keep my iPhone 8 for right now. Anyway.
It'll be 2030 and Guru will still have his iPhone 8.
Well, maybe one day. I'm not ready to switch yet. I'm still satisfied with my iPhone 8. So there you go. So that's a rumor there. And then Apple is reportedly working on a Tile-like item tracker, plus merged Find My iPhone and Find My Friends app. So according to this, Apple's developing a new app that combines Find My iPhone and Find My Friends into a single package. According to 9to5Mac's I'm not even going to pronounce that name. 495 Mac. The report cites sources familiar with ongoing testing of the app. In addition to the existing Find My iPhone features like lost mode and the ability to remotely erase a device, the report claims a new unified app includes a new Find Network feature that allows Apple devices to be tracked even when they're not connected to a Wi-Fi or cellular network. The app would also incorporate existing Find My Friends features, including location sharing and location-based notifications from friends and family. The report claims that the app will be available on both iOS and macOS as part of Apple's so-called Marzipan cross-platform initiative. The app could presumably debut in iOS 13, which will be previewed at WWDC in June, but no time frame is provided. And then this Tile-like product traffic. You ever heard of Tile? Well, Michael's.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
I'm
not bored.
I'm boring him to death.
Have I ever heard of?
So Tile is this little.
Yes,
it's a little thing, a little tile.
You can put it on keychains and stuff.
Yeah, you put it on things to try to keep up with them. So if you lose them, it'll help you find them. So this report also is talking about Apple's working on a new hardware product in the form of a tag that can be attached to any item, similar to Tile. The tag would be paired to the user's iCloud account and rely on proximity to an iPhone. Like the Tile, users would be able to receive notification when their device gets too far away from the tag. To avoid false triggers, it would be possible to set a list of common locations to be ignored, like a work office, so that the item can be left at those locations without the user being notified. Report also adds that users will be able to store their contact information in the tag and receive a notification when it is found. Apple may leverage its hundreds of millions of active devices to create a crowdsourced network that helps its users find any lost item in tandem with this product. There's no time frame for the release, but it perhaps will show up alongside new iPhones in September.
Huh.
So that's interesting. I mean, that's very likely. You know, I've never really thought of that because that Tile product's been around for several years, but I could so see Apple doing that. Look at this cool, iOS accessory. Don't ever lose your keys again. Whatever,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I could think of some people that needs this. Yeah. Actually.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's another reason to have an iPhone. Get a far superior mobile device. Get an iPhone. This ad not brought to you by Apple.
Brought to you by Guru. Apparently,
That's
he's
right.
getting paid for it.
I'm not.
It's almost like the Windows guy I know.
No, I'm not getting paid. I assure you. It's like a line from Forrest Gump. If there's money, then the government must be keeping it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
They must be keeping that check.
They must be keeping that check. The Army must be keeping that
$1 million wound.
That's right. Lastly here, Apple reportedly bringing screen time, Siri shortcuts, and other iOS features to the Mac. So this is more WWDC rumors that's coming out, the Worldwide Developers Conference in June. But 9to5 Mac, again, is getting a jump on some of these announcements. Today they're reporting, this was April 19th, so late last week. They reported that Apple plans to bring Siri Shortcuts feature and likely the Shortcuts app itself to the Mac with macOS 10.15. Shortcuts allows users to create custom Siri voice commands that trigger action within a particular app. These actions can be chained together. Each shortcut can include multiple apps, which has quickly made the feature of a favorite tool for power users. I've never really used that before, Siri Shortcuts. But anyway.
Well, no, I haven't.
It kind of reminds me of Automator. The old.
Yes.
That's still on Mac OS where you can.
Yeah.
AppleScript, basically.
Yeah,
I've
used that.
I've used some Automator stuff before. I still today, when I launch my Mac at home, it launches a network share and mounts a sparse image. Anyway, that's getting very geeky. I apologize.
Hey, that's what we do.
But anyways. But then it also talks about screen time, the iOS feature that shows the amount of time you spent using your device, individual apps per day. It's also set to debut on macOS 10.15. You can set limits for the use of screen time, and if you exceed that time allowance, you'll have to enter your passcode to keep using whatever app it is. This full report has other tidbits that are reportedly on the way, including a redesigned section for managing your Apple ID. And iMessage visual effects will also be coming to the Mac.
Did they realize people that actually do work on these things, so they don't need
But listen, this would be for, like, if you had a child, you're trying to limit how much time they use a particular app or the device in general. I mean, Microsoft has this stuff already.
I know, and I got this thing where I tell them they either going to get off of it or they're going to lose the device.
Well, you can always do that too.
It works.
Well, I know.
I promise.
This gives you an alternative, Michael. You don't have to use it.
I'm not going to because we don't have that. This is just fascinating to me.
And then also earlier this week, it's something interesting. 9 to 5 Mac reported that Mac OS 10.15 will allow the iPad to serve as an external display for Macs. And before that, they revealed that iOS 13 will include a dark mode and major productivity enhancements. We've talked about it already. But yeah, you could do that with some external software and or hardware where you could use your iPad as a second display on a Mac. But this is apparently going to come native with Mac OS 10.15.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it's saying. It'll allow the iPad to serve as an external display for Macs.
So they're basically doing away with somebody's app that they had made.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. We'll just make our own.
Yeah, right.
I hate that for that developer, but I mean,
interesting.
I mean, there's apparently use for it. So there you go.
I have that app, and I'll be honest with you. I only tried to use it a couple of times. It's okay, but it
just depends on your use case and your workflow.
I guarantee. Now it might actually work better on an iPad Pro, meaning that's a bigger product.
Well, plus it's got probably better hardware too. That makes the difference.
So that might be interesting as a secondary monitor for an iPad Pro in a
$1,000 monitor.
Well, what I'm saying is in a mobile situation.
Yeah, like if you're at your desk at work or at home.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sense in it.
And you dock it with some sort of a docking station, which really Apple doesn't make a docking station. There's a lot of third-party ways to do it, or you can just roll your own and just plug it into a monitor.
Right.
But especially if you're on the go, you have your MacBook, you have your iPad, and there you go. You just, in the hotel room, for example.
Right.
Do a monitor.
I actually have used the iPad Air before.
Because
like that.
I mean, I'm more productive having a second display.
Me too. I absolutely am.
I wish I had 2 right here.
And actually, I'm even more productive having 3. And if I have 4, I'm even much more productive.
What about 5?
Hey, that would be
6.
Let's
have a wall. Let's have a wall.
Make a wall.
Let's have a whole wall of screen.
A whole wall of screen. Just
equivalent of 20 monitors.
That's right. Yeah. It'd be awesome. It'd be like you're in a production truck.
That's right.
TV production truck.
Just running the show.
Yeah.
But that's all the rumors I have. Do you have any?
No, I think that's good on that.
Oh. Well.
I did want to ask you a question, though.
Sure.
Before we move on to something else.
Okay.
I know you were a guinea pig on this Verizon call filter. Well, you guinea pigged yourself.
A few weeks ago, we mentioned that this was coming to Verizon. They're going to have a call filter feature to help fight spam and robocalls.
Right.
So I did take one for the show, and I did set it up on my device, the free version.
Yeah,
because you do have a free and a paid version. I forget how they're branded, but it's called Call Filter and Call Filter. Pay me money. I don't know. Call Filter. We'll call it the premium version of Call Filter.
Yes,
just to call it something.
Call Filter Plus.
I don't know if it's called that or not.
It's not.
I can't remember. But anyways, set it up. You go to your Verizon account. You go to add features, and it's there, Call Filter, and there's 2 choices, the free or the paid, and you select which one you want. Then it'll tell you, once you confirm all that, it'll tell you, okay, you got to go download this app. I did this all from my device using the Verizon app, but you can do it through the Verizon website as well. But there's a Verizon Call Filter app you have to download. You download it, and it detects what device it's on, like phone number-wise, and it can tell if you have that feature enabled.
Right.
And it'll tell you, now you need to go into your settings under phone. There's I forget where, but basically you have to tell your iOS device. It's under settings, phone, call blocking and identification. And basically,
you're telling it what
app
to use.
Yeah, allow these apps to block calls and provide caller ID.
Right. That makes sense.
So I turn on, which in my case I only have one app. There's other apps that do this, but you turn on Call Filter to do that.
Okay.
So that's all you do to set it up. And then when you get a call, which I actually got one today, it comes up on your screen, on your lock screen, or in case my watch will say potential spam along with the number, which, kind of, all right. So potential spam, I won't answer it.
Yeah.
So I did. I went that way for a couple days, and then one day I got a. this is where it goes bad. One day it said like robocall, and it listed some number, and I didn't recognize the number obviously, so I didn't answer it. Well, then I get a voicemail. And the voicemail is from a company that I was waiting on a phone call back from.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, man. So I returned the call and take care of the business, and they had to call me back later. And I recognized the number then, so I did answer it, even though it said it was a robocall. But here's the thing. After I got done with that, I was like, I need to, like, any kind of spam filter. You think of, like, your email spam filter.
Right, exactly.
If something gets in the spam, you can say, this is not spam.
Right.
So I went into, anytime you get like one of these spam calls, you get a push notification from that call filter app that tells you it was spam or robocall or whatever. And I went into that app and it'll list what calls it identified as robocall that you've been receiving. So I went and tried to select it and say you can report the caller, you can block the caller, or you can block it as not spam or not robocall. So I said, well, that's not, obviously. That's a legitimate business.
Right.
So I said, mark is not spam. And when I did that, it said, you have to pay for this feature. I was like, really? Really, Verizon? Really?
So Verizon.
Now, I get it.
I laughed when Guru told me the first
Now,
time.
when you try to say block the call, like I don't want this call to even come up my phone, that's a paid feature as well. But you can easily go into iOS and add the number.
Right.
And I get that there's some differences between free and paid. I think the paid also gives you caller ID, like it'll show like the name of whatever person or business or whatever if it has caller ID information. And with that, you also can change your caller ID for your device, so you could put in your name instead of like wireless caller.
Right.
You know, that type of thing. So you do get some premium features for like $3 per line per month.
You should put in your name suspected spam caller as your name.
No.
And that's what goes out.
And I think with the paid version, you also get like a risk meter. It'll identify like low, medium, high.
Right.
And I think there's a setting in there to where if it's a certain level, like automatically block it. I think that's configurable. I haven't really dug into that because I currently do have the higher version for a short period of time.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I haven't really looked into all this, but what really just got me, though, is you couldn't say it's not spam. So I went to Verizon support and told them that, and they're like, oh, we have this web form you can fill out. But you have to go in. They had to give me the link 'cause I couldn't find it. You type in the number, you have to do a CAPTCHA, and all this. It's a bunch of hoops to go through.
Yeah, just to do that. When
and
it should be very simple.
Like I told the person, like, this should be baseline, like, free.
Correct.
Like, your filter messed up.
Yeah.
And I need to let you know so you can make your filter better. Obviously, it's in your best interest, just like spam filters. They're not foolproof.
Right.
So that's the only thing that gets me here with it so far, and I've been using it a week or two now.
Okay.
But I just hope the government comes in and just regulates the crap out of this, so because like I think I get it, like the risk meter and like the caller ID stuff, that should be premium features. You don't have to have that, but I should have some control over this is not spam. I mean, that's just like hello. Anyway, leave it to Verizon, mess something up. Rant over.
That's what I was going to say. Leave it to Verizon.
Yeah, ran over.
Not a surprise. Well, when we come back, we're going to cut to break a little bit early and get some time on the other side. We will continue with the Hey Techies Show. And hopefully you're having a great evening. Hey Techies Show. Be right back. Welcome back into the Hey Techies Show. Pretty much for our last segment tonight.
I know. Well, we went to break a little early, so we've got an extended last segment.
That's right.
Here.
What you got, Gary?
Yeah, I got one here. So, FBI, they're investigating a ransomware attack.
Oh,
it's like,
nice.
I know.
Just throw a dart somewhere and you'll hit one.
Probably so. But this one, this ransomware attack has shut down the Weather Channel program for an hour on Thursday of last week, according to the Wall Street Journal. The early morning live broadcast was interrupted for some 90 minutes, forcing the cable channel to resort to a taped program. Weather Channel confirmed in a tweet that it fell victim to, quote, a malicious software attack, end quote. Backups were used to restore affected computers, and live transmission soon returned, allowing the channel to resume its program. While the transmission stopped, viewers took to Twitter to find out what happened. what you always do. When something's not right, go to Twitter, right?
Yeah.
So the quote from the Weather Channel said, we experienced issues with this morning's live broadcast following a malicious software attack on the network. We were able to restore live programming quickly through backup mechanisms. Federal law enforcement is actively investigating the issue. We apologize for any inconvenience to viewers as we work to resolve this matter.
Nice.
So it goes on to say, this is from Bitdefender. Ransomware attacks are growing in complexity and becoming increasingly common in all industries. Most networks are vulnerable, so hackers target them to see potential to steal data, destroy systems, or make some easy cash. So far, large banks, corporations, hotels, educational institutions, hospitals, healthcare facilities, and even local governments have been targeted. But
Really?
but kudos to the Weather Channel. I mean, they were prepared, for a disaster recovery type scenario, and apparently some key piece of equipment fell victim to this ransomware attack. So they were able to spin up new hardware, or I don't know, probably some sort of VM, but basically restore from a backup and get things running pretty quickly. I mean, that's
good for the.
That is good. That is good because I mean people are like 90 minutes. That's a long time. No, that's not. That's pretty quick to have to go basically a full on restore.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't know what we would do without weather for 90 minutes. How would we survive? I don't know how people did it.
I don't know. But anyway, I thought that was interesting that it took out their live broadcast, but then the fact that they actually kind of, I think, handled it very well considering the circumstances. I'm not one to really watch the Weather Channel or consume their products in terms of the weather forecasting, but to each his own. But that could have happened to anybody.
Yeah, I agree. It does.
How about this? I got something else here.
Okay.
I'm going through these real quick while you're.
I'm good.
Okay, let me get this. Well, I'm trying to get this.
I'm listening to you.
So we talked about this one in the green room. So, headline: JCPenney removes Apple Pay support from its retail stores and mobile app.
Wow. I just don't. I'll be interested in what the point of this is.
So, JCPenney in late 2015 They did a trial of Apple Pay in their stores. And then they rolled it out to all stores, in the U.S. and added support for the payment method through its app shortly after. So probably early 2016, I would say. But they've quietly removed that from the retail stores. This article was from today, as a matter of fact, early this morning. The withdrawal of support of Apple's digital payment system was confirmed on Saturday by the company's customer service Twitter account in response to a query, but offered no reason for its decision. So somebody tweeted about it and then basically asked JCPenney. Their Twitter account said, JCPenney made the decision to remove Apple Pay from our stores. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. We'll definitely forward your feedback regarding this for review.
Huh.
Apparently this person thought that was a hashtag stupid idea, hashtag security. That was part of the, this is the actual, the original person that went at JCPenney. My wife went to the store today to buy stuff. She had her phone ready to pay and was told you guys removed Apple Pay.
Oh, wow.
Why would you remove a very secure form of payment? Do you not care about your customer security? Hashtag stupid idea, hashtag security. So,
as though JCPenney's didn't have enough trouble.
I know, because I think I figured around 800 stores, left in the U.S. right now.
I just don't understand. I mean, I guess there's something we're missing here.
But there's an update here. When I first found this earlier this morning, that was the end of it. Kind of like there was no.
Right, it's got to be something else.
But they still take, before I get to that, they still take NFC contactless payments.
Okay.
They just don't take Apple Pay.
Right.
Which is one form of NFC contactless payments.
Mm-hmm.
But there's an update. According in a statement to TechCrunch, JCPenney says that it stopped supporting Apple Pay and other contactless payments because of an April 13th deadline from Visa for retiring legacy magnetic stripe contactless technology in favor of a more secure EMV technology.
Oh, okay.
The quote here from the statement from JCPenney says a third-party credit card brand made the requirement for all merchants to actively support EMV contactless functionality effective April 13th, retiring the legacy MSD contactless technology in place.
Well, there you go. There's the answer.
Given the resources and lead time associated with meeting the new mandate, JCPenney chose to suspend all contactless payment options until a later date. Customers still have the ability to complete their transactions manually by inserting or swiping their physical credit cards at our point-of-sale terminals in stores, an option employed by the vast majority of JCPenney shoppers.
This was about not paying out money to update a product in their stores. This is basically what it boils down to.
Basically,
which makes total sense to me. I mean, they probably don't have the money to shell it out.
Those little readers that are at the point of sale at any store these days. Most stores have them now. Some sort of a debit machine or card reader or whatever. Course, Those things are not cheap.
No, and if you've got to retrofit every store and every register at every store to support this new standard, then I can see that.
So they're just basically discontinuing that for now.
Right, which makes total sense for JCPenney's.
Yeah, because they're not in the best financial shape right now. They're burning through cash at an astonishing rate.
That's what I understand, too.
Yeah.
So, but that can be found at pretty much any financial news outlet. So.
And I get it. Probably there's a low acceptance rate. Because even today when I use Apple Pay, some people are like, oh, that's cool. I've never seen that before. And I'm like, it's been around quite some time.
Yeah, it has.
I try to use it when it's available. Sometimes I'll pull out my credit card without thinking. But this weekend, I went to the local grocery store, not the chain store, the local one. I guess I can mention their name.
Sure.
Johnson's.
Yeah.
Down the road here in Jacksonville. Right. I went in there to buy some stuff for a family. We had a family gathering after Easter, worship services on Easter Sunday. And I've noticed a couple times on their little machine, the little debit machine, whatever, that little card reader.
Exactly.
It had the little EFC logo, contactless, and then I noticed just the other day, it said Apple Pay. I was like, oh, let me try this. So I pull out my phone, and sure enough, it worked.
Wow.
But it made me sign for it after I did it, which I usually don't get with Apple Pay. But the thing with Apple Pay is the merchant gets a one-time token to charge my card.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So it is more secure in case their systems got compromised, that release of information would not release my credit card number. It'd be useless to whoever was trying to get it. So anyway, so Johnson's in Jacksonville supports Apple Pay.
Wow. But JCPenney's does not.
JCPenney's does not. Okay. Walmart doesn't either. Walmart has their own Walmart Pay.
Of course.
With fancy QR codes.
That's right. Because that's the new thing is QR codes. They're just
obviously
cutting edge.
Bleeding edge, baby. Bleeding edge.
Yeah. Well, here you go. This is interesting.
Okay. What you got?
Headline. Everyone is using Blink 182 as their password, and the band Blink 182 is not cool with it.
Oh.
Now, of course, I don't like this headline because everyone is not using that. This is CNN reports, actually. The top no-brainer passwords overall are impersonal numbers, combinations like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but in the category of bands, the most breached password is the name of the popular 90s pop punk outfit, Blink 182.
Should have played one of their songs as a bumper.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, well.
I didn't know I was going to have this.
That's okay.
But Mark Hoppus, he's a vocalist, bassist and vocalist. He tweeted about it with this CNN story, and Blink 182 is first, then Liverpool, Superman, Man UTD, Ashley, Michael is a password, Cowboys 1. Oh my goodness! This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know whether this is right or not. No, that can't. That's a link. That cannot be a password. And I can't even... No, it can't be. It's got a slash in it. I don't know what that is. Anyway, this is a Twitter feed, and the guy says, let's see, Mark Hoppus, if your password is one of these words or phrases, it's time to change it. That's what the CNN thinks. And he says, you guys, what are you doing with our names number one on this list, basically is what he's saying. So anyway, there you go. If your password is Blink 182,
Yeah, you may
it's
wanna
probably been
change it.
compromised already. Shockingly,
Yeah.
people may have tried that already.
You may want to not investigate. Spend some time. I guess it is investigate. No, it's investing. Investing some time to use LastPass and start changing your passwords.
Yes, we've talked about that many times over the years. Yes. Oh, I think I did have.
Because I guarantee you, LastPass, when it generates a password, it will not be Blink 182. I assure you. If it is, then I guess I owe you a Coke and a candy bar. I don't know.
Oh, you don't owe nobody nothing. Now, speaking of expensive things, we were talking about that earlier.
Like our $2,000 fold gate phone.
Yeah, or like a $60,000 car.
Yeah.
How about a $70,000 TV?
Ooh. Like that Tesla looked cheap.
Yeah, you can afford a Tesla then. Sony's 98-inch 8K TV.
Will that fit in a Tesla?
I don't know about that.
Maybe if you get the Model Y, when they get it released, you have the hatchback.
I don't know. 98-inch. That's pretty big.
Strap it to the
I had
top.
to carry an 84 today.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it was
wow.
heavy too, buddy. It's upstairs in this building, actually.
84-inch.
Yeah, and trust me, it's heavy.
Well,
it's a flat screen, and it is heavy.
Well, at least it's not an 84-inch plasma. Remember those plasma TVs?
Yes.
They were ridiculously heavy.
They're like 9 inches thick.
And heavy as all get out.
Sony's 98-inch TV says it will cost $70,000. 98
like the
inch
Tesla of TVs.
Yeah.
$70,000.
Yes.
Wow. Just wrap your head around that for a minute. There are some houses that cost that much or less.
Less. Plenty of houses in the world that cost less than that.
I mean, your average sedan is probably in the mid-20s in terms of cost.
Right, if you average it, yeah.
So you could buy 2 cars and still not be at the price.
While that's more affordable than the Samsung's $100,000 Q900.
Oh my gosh, a 6-figure?
Yes.
Wow.
They're 8K.
I want to know somebody who can afford to spend this kind of money on television. That's who I want.
I wouldn't personally know them.
I want to meet them.
There's plenty of multi-millionaires that can afford to spend that kind of money.
I want to meet one of these because
most of these people wouldn't do that.
Just instead of spending $70,000 at TV, won't you just give me half the money that you were going to spend on it, and we'll go get you a very nice TV with the rest.
Okay, now
That'll be my fee for helping you find a good TV.
Fee for helping them.
Yeah, just half of that. I want $35,000, and we'll go spend $35,000 on a really nice TV, and it'll be probably just as good as that $70,000 one. Anyway, if there's any takers, that's Guru at HeyTakingShow.com.
$70,000. Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy. But like you said before the show, I'm not trying to steal your thunder here.
Oh,
but,
no. Still.
After a couple hundred, you start getting in that $700 range for TV. It start getting
I'm out.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
I know.
I'm being kind of a Luddite there. It's like that's a lot of money for television. I mean, granted, at home I do watch television, but I'm not a huge videophile, audiophile.
No, not to that. But, not that I have to have that.
But I mean, you probably think, Guru's got like a 12-inch TV in his living room. No, I have a nice like 40 or 50-inch. It's not 4K. It's 1080p.
Yes, but it's
but it's more than sufficient for me.
Correct, right?
More
for
than
what
sufficient.
you watch. Yeah.
And it's a smart TV, so it has the YouTube app.
The truth of the matter is, I don't need that experience. If I really want something, and it would be okay to have. I'm not against it, but what I'm saying is, if I really wanted to get that kind of experience, and of course it's not 8K per se, but I'll go to the theater and see whatever film I'm wanting to see at the. And I'm paying.
It was like a couple years ago when the Sully movie came out. I mentioned this on the show several years ago. Wow. Anyway,
it has been.
But I went to one of the AMC theaters at AMC Prime. Scott Wilkinson, that's been on the show before, kind of said if you really want a great experience, go there because they have the Dolby Atmos sound and the DLP projector. I mean, very high quality. It's a premium experience, and it was well worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fine for, I want to go watch this movie and have a great experience.
Yeah.
And I'll go and enjoy that, and I'll leave satisfied.
Right.
But I don't need that in my home.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to have it either. Yeah,
Because like this evening, we'll get done with the show here in a few minutes. We'll pack up. I'll go home, and I'll probably turn on the television and watch what news is on at 9 p.m. Central to see just what's been happening today, because I've been kind of at work, and now we're doing the show. But I mean, I just don't watch it enough to justify it. And I'm not just like this weekend. I did Saturday. It was cold and damp outside, so I couldn't do anything outside. So I did watch some movies on Netflix, which is a rarity for me. But I enjoyed them on my 40, 50 inch 1080p
exactly
display with no problem.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but to each his own. And there's apparently somebody in this world that'll spend $70,000 on a television because otherwise they wouldn't make it. That's the way I look at it. I mean, just like people, people can drop money on,
and
they drop $60,000 on a Tesla Model 3,
and that's their business.
Oh, it absolutely is. And if you want to just give me half that money, I will put it to good use. I assure you. I assure you.
So funny. Good.
And not just going on vacation. I will put it to good use somewhere in a physical form.
Correct.
You can come check on me. I'll be sure to report back.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, I think that we have done our duty tonight.
We'll play it one more time.
Oh my goodness, you're doubling up on me as closing here?
Well, I forgot. I wanted to play it 3 times tonight.
Maybe see you next week. Hey, Techies Show.